The Honorable, the Leader of the Opposition.
President, Deputy President, Madam Speaker, honorable members, good afternoon, goeiemiddag, bagaitsu, dumela. As a former president once said, I am an African. And so I was proud that yesterday, across this great continent, we celebrated Africa Day. A day that serves to commemorate the founding of the Organization of African Unity in 1963. Africa Day symbolizes the emancipation of the African continent and the struggle to see it elevated out of poverty and affirm itself as an equal player in the global economy. As an African, I believe in the future of this continent and in this country. I believe we can succeed if more people find their voices and make the right choices. The DA, as the future government of this great country, has a vision for a South African society that shares a common belief in the values of freedom, fairness, and opportunity. A vision to build a democratic state supported by the institution given birth out of our Constitution. We are fighting for the day where an inclusive economy will offer the same opportunities to all South Africans, regardless of the circumstances of their birth. This is the dream that leaders like President Nelson Mandela fought for. But we still have a great deal of work to do to achieve it. It should make us all angry that over the past 5 years, our economy has grown at less than 2%. To be exact, Honorable President, 1.3%. Despite our position in the global trading hub, our membership of BRICS, our vast pool of natural resources, 1 in 3 South Africans cannot find a job. Our economy is energy secure, ultimately the fault of this particular government. Honorable Speaker, this is disaster on a global scale. In fact, President, I would like to call it a horror story to tell. If we think about it, an entire generation of young black South Africans are not only unemployed, but they are unemployable. Many are turning to crime because they simply don't have opportunities to earn an honest living. Many are abusing alcohol and drugs because it's their only means of escape. Bengile khona namhlanje. No, angit bengibasiza. Bengile, let me explain. These are young people that are facing the challenge of drugs.
Order, honorable
the dreams.
members.
Madam Speaker,
Point of order.
Oh, thank you, man.
Madam House Chair, will you please ask the howlers on that side of the room to please quieten down?
Honorable Steenhuisen, I have asked everybody to be in order.
Yes. If we want to be an African success story, these are the people that we must fight for. Indeed, our Constitution guarantees the rights and freedoms for all people. But actually, I don't see evidence that our government cares about our people. All I see is a government that cares about itself. A government that enriches itself. A government that abuses its power to protect itself. The Marikana tragedy shows just how the president and his cronies have protected themselves at the expense of the poor. Almost 3 years after 34 miners were brutally gunned down on the 16th of August by this government, the public is still waiting for answers. Honorable Speaker, just exactly when, as the president says, it will be at the end of the month, it is a delay that is far too long. We cannot accept it and request that the president make the report public immediately. Every minute that passes without this report being made public cheapens the lives of every person massacred at Marikana. The miners, their families, the lives of all South Africans are diminished by the president's delay. We've just celebrated Africa's Day, Mr. President, but by withholding this report, you are telling us that the lives of black workers are cheap. Honorable President, I believe that black lives, like all lives, matter. If we are to take our place amongst the world's successful nations, we must send a signal that all are equal before the law. Those responsible for the atrocities at Marikana should be fired and jailed. So why, Mr. President, have you in fact not released the Marikana report? I believe your delay makes us wonder about which members of your inner circle are you in fact trying to protect. Mr. President, whose reputation matters more than the lives lost of the people at Marikana? Is it in fact Deputy President Cyril Ramaphosa, who chose his words carefully but deliberately when he called for concomitant action to bring the strike to an end in order to protect his personal interest in the mine? Or is it in fact Minister Natim Tetwa, the National Police Commissioner, and the National Police Commissioner Ria Piecha, who allegedly acted under political pressure and wielded their influence to subdue the miners using whatever means necessary? These questions, in fact, demand answers. We can never bring those miners back, but we can help the families of those miners get some closure and ultimately get the truth. Mr. President, I ask you today, let us allow the truth to be known. Let justice take its course, even if it means that some of your closest allies are implicated. I make this call knowing that in fact we have a track record of dodging accountability, a history of protecting those in fact closest to you. We saw this at Nkandla, Mamudoris, where 246 million rands of public funds to build a presidential palace while millions of South Africans are
Honorable
without
House
homes.
Chairperson.
Order. Honorable Maimane,
Honorable
can you take a
House
seat?
Chair.
Honorable
I'm
Deputy Chief Whip.
not Mum Doris. I'm Honorable Mum Zaguto.
I withdraw, Honorable Tlaguda.
Honorable Maimane, can you please withdraw and address properly?
I did withdraw.
Thank you. You can
Mudula
proceed.
Stulo. Instead of facing up to the charges, you dismissed the public protector's finding and used your party's majority in this House to whitewash the ad hoc committee report. Honorable Speaker, it's more than a year after the public protector released her report, but the president is yet to repay a single cent for the undue benefit he received through the lavish upgrades to his private home. And we're still waiting for the report by the police minister on the president's liability, despite the president's assurances that it should have been submitted to Parliament last week. But through it all, the members on my right sit in silence, fearful of biting the hands that feed them. You know as well as I do that in fact it is under President Zuma that the ANC is losing vote. Honorable Tlakuda clarified that point. That from 2009 to 2014, the ANC lost support. So your support for President Zuma is in fact killing the ANC. It's like in fact chickens voting for Colonel Sanders. You know what I mean? But it's not you that I'm really worried about. What troubles me is the silence when millions are wasted on luxuries while our children go hungry. The president's silence on load shedding is even more concerning. We sat here silently when millions of rands were spent earlier this month to charter not one, but 2 additional private jets to bring the president home from Russia. You also sat silent when the president announced an inquiry into the National Director of Public Prosecutions when the National Prosecuting Authority got too close to investigating the president and close to him, but then killed the inquiry to pave the way to get rid of Mxolisi Nxasana with a golden handshake. You sat here silently when the president appointed his former advisor to head up the IEC, the institution tasked with free and fair elections. Honorable members, the time has come for all South Africans to be honest and admit our progress towards an inclusive economy has stalled. The time has come for us to be honest about the collapse of our economy under President Zuma. The time has come to reject the broken promises of this broken presidency. The time has come for us to reject black economic empowerment that empowers the rich. We want BEE that creates jobs for all South Africans, not only those connected to the ANC. The time has come for us to have equal access to education for all, like the students at Fort Hare that I saw. No more excuses for mud schools and lack of textbooks, and no more deserving students left behind for financial reasons. Honorable Speaker, apartheid was a system that destroyed our lives and our livelihood. It was a system that told you where to live and who to marry. A system that said your worth was determined by the color of your skin. We beat that system and we are never going back to it. It's a matter of fact that South Africa today is better than the South African yesterday. What we cannot accept is crony enrichment. We cannot allow the lives of young people to be destroyed by joblessness and substance abuse. We cannot allow the massacre of mine workers to be covered up. And every day that we fail to hold this government to account, we are failing in our duty to the people of this country. We must hold ourselves to a higher standard than that of apartheid. And the DA is fighting for a better future for South Africa. That is why we are working hard to implement a vision where South Africa, where there's freedom, fairness, and opportunity. Thank you very much.
Ilunga elihloniphekile